Let's draw a realistic portrait of a horse and a guy with oil pastels while we chat about how the act of creating art can help you overcome fear and self-doubt. I think that you can learn big lessons through seemingly small experiences.
That was not good at all.
For instance, when you were a child and your favorite toy broke, you learned how to grieve and move on. When your parents didn't let you have that candy, regardless of how much you stomped your feet for it, you learned boundaries and how to follow them. Although now, years and years later, you know that these are insignificant problems, the lessons you learned through these childhood experiences are still instilled inside of you. Similarly, the challenges that come with the creating process of art can teach you large life lessons on a smaller scale. When you try a new art medium, you learn how to stretch yourself and get out of your comfort zone. When your painting isn't going as you had planned and you decide to completely change direction in the middle, you're learning how to adapt and go with the flow. Through just the learning process of starting an art piece, you learn how to face the unknown, cope with disappointment, and be persistent and patient. And these lessons that you learn through simply drawing or painting will apply to all areas of your life, and you will see that you are becoming a more complete and adaptable person with every artwork. Through creating a seemingly insignificant art piece, you are learning deeply significant life skills firsthand that will last you a lifetime. So, how can just creating art help you overcome fear and self-doubt? Isn't that a lot to expect from just drawing? I think that the beauty in creating art is that it's a gentle way of facing these emotions. You don't need to bungee jump to face your fear. You can simply take the same leap with your art by trying something new that you were afraid to do before. As someone who specializes in portraits, I was hesitant to try drawing animals as I haven't really drawn animals much before. So when this reference photo on Pinterest caught my eye, despite it having a horse in it, I decided to take the leap and go out of my comfort zone and try to draw it. I also had this oil pastel board that my art mentor gave me to try out lying around for about a year until I found it again recently. So I dug up my childhood oil pastel set and here we are. As someone whose main mediums in my artwork are watercolor and pen, oil pastels were totally out of my ballpark. So when I was feeling antsy at the start of this drawing, what helped me was to remind myself that maybe you're just feeling this resistance simply because you haven't done it before. If you've ever felt this way too with your art, the only solution to this feeling is simply to push past it and dive in. Something else that's out of my comfort zone with this drawing is working in color. In my latest works, I painted in monochrome, which is one color, as a style preference, and because of this, it's been a while since I tried making a piece in color. Creating art is a great way to learn to face your fears and doubts in a safe way as opposed to doing something extreme. Through drawing or painting, you explore and challenge these fears, transforming them into a step from which to grow from, resulting in positive artistic expression. Creating art can be therapeutic. I feel like a lot of times we as artists can easily get stuck with the huge pressure of expectations looming over us every time we pick up a pencil. Something that helps me is to take a step back and remind myself, is this really that deep and serious? Just create. What's the big deal? You might be getting caught up in taking yourself and your art too seriously. Of course your artwork is important. However, in the scope of things, how much can just one drawing dramatically change your life? Likely not much, right? So why not let loose and experiment and explore regardless of the results? Who said that every artwork you create has to be a masterpiece? What if you simply just created for the sake of creating? Let your art become your safe space where you can create without judgment. Making art can also help you cope when you're going through a difficult time. When certain events in your life occur which are unfortunately out of your control, the act of creating is a way to regain control and counter the negative by bringing something new and positive into the world. Drawing or painting could also help you channel emotions out in a healthy way. Especially when you're feeling overwhelmed with a strong emotion, like sadness or even something positive like joy or love, drawing or painting something with that subject can act as a channel to process these emotions and document it as a visual diary entry as well. Drawing or painting can also help you discover yourself. Through every drawing, you discover your human nature, such as what workflow works for you and what you are drawn to as an artist. Interestingly enough, I personally discovered through my art journey that I am drawn to images of the past. There's some sort of charm about vintage images that speaks to me, which you can probably detect through the recurrent themes and time periods my art depicts. I've also noticed that the more you make art, the more you start to see and appreciate the world differently. You start to develop an eye for beauty in your everyday life, such as noticing what colors look good together. You develop a habit of observing your surroundings and seeing the world through shapes, light, and values. Sometimes when I'm in public, I catch myself accidentally staring at people for too long because I'm amusing myself by daydreaming about what colors I would use to paint their skin tone, or how I would draw their facial features. Everyone has the potential to be creative and use art as a tool for overcoming fear and self-doubt. Regardless of your skill level in art, you are an artist, so explore your creative potential. Embrace experimentation and failure as part of the artistic process, and eventually you will find what resonates with you. It's worth the effort. As Seth Godin once said, art is what we call the thing that an artist does. It's not the medium or the oil or the price or whether it hangs on the wall or you eat it. What matters, what makes it art, is that the person who made it overcame the resistance, ignored the voice of doubt, and made something worth making. Something risky, something human. Art is not in the eye of the beholder, it's in the soul of the artist. If anything in this video was helpful or speaks to you, please leave a like and share your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you for watching.